Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's story time is about my freak accident. I was in high school. I would say, I think this was 9th grade. And I've always been, you know, a class clown. And so naturally, when we had the school play, I auditioned for like the funny role. It was like this nerdy girl and whatever. I got the part naturally. So I'm so humble. There's the auditorium, right? So here's the audience, and then, you know, here's the stage, and there's curtains. Well, there is a small amount of stage in front of the curtain. My character actually opened the play, but the way I kind of start off behind the curtain, and then I say my lines. What was supposed to happen was I was supposed to say some of my lines to get the crowd like anticipating me, and then I go down the stairs, I come out, I walk up the stairs in the front part of the stage, and we do our little bit, the curtains open, the play begins. It didn't happen like that. What happened was, I don't know, I thought I was athletic or something. Instead of walking down the 3 steps, I decided to jump, like just jump down. Well, this was a liability. I could have sued. There was a string, okay, that was hanging above where the steps are. It was attached to the top of the curtain. So when I jumped, some freak way, I jumped and I caught part of my chin like this, and thank God I didn't go forward, because the doctor said I had a burn here, like a carpet burn or something like that. I had a burn here from the string. The doctor said if I was a few inches forward, I would have hung myself. But because it caught just the tip of my chin, I went back. So picture this, right? So I'm saying my little scene, and my outfit, I was supposed to be like a nerd. So I had like jeans up to here, suspenders. I was talking with English. It was so corny now that I think of it. And so I'm like talking like this behind the scenes. So everybody's like, oh, this is gonna be funny, right? And all they hear is like, boom, 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 like, right? Because I'm like, I hit the thing, I go back, and I fall on the back part of the stage. I hit the back of my head, I pass out. I have no idea what happens. Apparently, the crowd was laughing because they thought this was all part of the skit. I wake up, and there's people all around me. There's commotion. I can hear murmuring in the audience, but I can't see them and they can't see me, right? So the teacher, the drama teacher, is like, oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay? So once I come to, they're like all surrounding me, asking if I'm okay. So I'm like, I don't know, I think I'll fine. And I go to like try to get up, and I can't. My neck, it's like, it's not moving. And my body, I mean, the whole thing is just messed up. So now they're like freaking out. They want to take me to the nurse's office. So at this point I can hear like the audience, some people are laughing, some people are talking, some people are whistling like, woo, Nora, come out. Like they think this is all like, you know, a lead up to some sort of thing. Little do they know. So I have the drama teacher and the students, they're like lifting me up. I'm on their like shoulders. I'm saying my neck really hurts. The whole thing is a mess. And then the little door opens, like where I'm supposed to come in. As soon as the door opens, there's like an applause and everybody's like, woo! But instead of what's actually happening, it's me looking like this. Now keep in mind, nobody knows. They all think this is like part of the skit. So they're like, woo! So instead of like, you know, carrying me to the stage and continuing the show, I'm like going this way and they're helping me, and everyone looks really serious. And I guess it's starting to dawn on the people like, oh my God, like what's going on? And then the one of the teachers comes out and they're like, we had a little bit of an accident, the show must go on. And these people actually were gonna like, they continued the play while I was like dying. So I don't know what happened. Apparently they like did the play without me. Rude. And I'm feeling woozy. I don't know what's going on. The pain is unbearable. Once they get me to the nurse's office, which thank God was really close, I'm just like laid out, you know. They start putting a neck brace on me. They're calling my parents. They're calling an ambulance. I get picked up by the ambulance, and my mom shows up too, and she follows to the ambulance. My poor mother, the things I have put this woman through. They needed to do all these tests because I had passed out. Come to find out, I had like dislocated something in my neck. It also affected my back. I had a huge bump on the back of my head where I knocked out, and I was like a little bit dizzy, but all in all, it seemed like I was gonna be fine. But they had said, okay, you need to go home. You can't do anything. You need to sit down. I had to drink everything and eat everything from a straw because it even hurt to like chew and move my head. It was pretty gnarly. During this time, I was sitting on the couch for 3 months, which is what it took all in all. I gained a lot of weight. It was really depressing. I found out who my friends were because some people visited me and a lot of people did not visit me because I wasn't funny nor anymore. It really sucks when you're like the funny friend and then something not so funny happens and now you're like a buzzkill and nobody wants to hang out with you. I learned a lot. That was a very like big learning lesson. Can you imagine, like 3 months later, I finally go back to school. I'm like 20 pounds heavier. I'm like bitter. I'm mad at all my friends but I never got over like the way that they were, because before that it seems like they were everybody was always like calling me. My phone was always blowing up. People always wanted to come over, inviting me to go places, but it was like literally only 4 of my friends actually came to my house to visit me and like hang out with me while I'm sitting there with the neck brace and like not moving. Like 4, and I thought I was popular. No. And then I had gained weight, so like people were like looking at me, and then I was like trying to lose the weight, but I couldn't really work out because I had to do physical therapy. I had the craziest physical therapy. So what ended up happening is every time they would like take the neck brace off, I would scream, and every time they would try to touch it, I would be like, oh my God, this hurts, so that they would stop touching it. They would stop touching it. And so for the longest time, I didn't get better. Like nothing really happened. It wasn't until I went to one physical therapy doctor, and when he was like took the neck brace off and was massaging me, I was like, oh, it hurts, and he didn't like stop. He was like, it's gonna hurt. What it was because I wasn't moving, because I had the neck brace, I had developed all these knots all in the muscles, like from the nape of my neck going down to my back, and I needed somebody to just deal with me screaming, tell me to suck it up, and keep massaging all the knots out. And then I had these electrical pads that they put that were hooked up to wires that were doing like electric currents all through my back and my neck. And then I had like this ultrasound thing. They would put like the ultrasound gel and they do some ultrasound thing. But it took me so long to get that care, and I was also being like a little bitch, being like, oh, it hurts, you know, because I'm dramatic. Now I still have like, listen, do you hear that? I don't know if you heard that. I have a very sensitive neck, very sensitive lower back. I still pass out at the drop of a dime. I've passed out so many times. If it gets too hot, I pass out. If I stand up too quickly, I get lightheaded. I almost pass out. I've passed out on a plane before. Oh, maybe, do you guys want to hear that story time when I passed out on a plane? And they had to get me the ambulance, and then they thought I was lying because I wanted to avoid customs. And so I had like a customs security person like in the ambulance with me. That was a fun story. I have a lot of weird stories, but anyway, oh my God, I have some crazy stories from when I was in culinary school and worked at restaurants with an abusive chef. If you think Gordon Ramsay was bad, you don't know. Chef Jared. I won't say which restaurant, but yeah, Chef Jared, nightmare situation. Abuse. I was abused. I was abused by this chef. Let me know if you want to hear that story. Nightmare. Kitchen nightmare. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thanks for watching my YouTube video. I'm losing my breath.